I'll show you how it's done. Shazam!
Hey everybody, welcome back to Unreal New York. Another movie review for you tonight. Here we have Joyride, not the 2001 movie Joyride that comes up on Google first, but the 2023 movie Joyride, which has a much larger cast.
So Joyride is directed by Adele Lim, not Adele the singer, Adele Lim. She is she's another second movie that we're doing today. Well, this is the second movie in a row that we're covering that it is by a first-time director, former writer. Other one for Past Lives was a playwright. This one is a screenwriter. She wrote the famous script for Crazy Rich Asians. That was another Asian rom-com that did really well. They made money. That was a really successful one.
As well as the animated feature Ray and the Last Dragon.
Yep.
You know, this is the kind, like, this really isn't my kind of movie, but if you're a fan of movies like Bridesmaids, for example, if that's your thing,
Girls Trip.
Well, I haven't seen that, so
That's the black version of Bridesmaids.
Okay. Well, if you're a fan of those kinds of movies, then you'll probably be a fan of this one, too. I don't really see a reason why you wouldn't. It's, like, about the same quality, you know, like, you have talented actresses, just like in those movies, too. They're all doing their thing, like, you know, it's really a high-quality movie, I guess.
Yeah.
So if you're into that kind of comedy, then this is worth checking out. Me, personally, I'm really not into it. Like, some of the jokes landed for me, a lot of them really didn't. It just came across kind of cringy a lot of points, just kind of overly gross, just not really my thing.
I expected this movie to be a lot worse in my, like, from, like, just, I don't know, just, like, I thought it was going to be, like, another over-the-top raunchy comedy, but first off, it is like Bridesmaids, but they do, you know, since they are Asian women, they do embrace, they do get into culture, both Chinese and Korean, you know, traditions and how it influences them as people. You know what I mean? Kind of like Past Lives. Past Lives, we saw another film that's like that too, but obviously it's a whole different kind of context, a whole different kind of like tone.
Yeah, drastically different movie.
Yeah, but they both are Asian American people, you know, women, you know. And, you know, dealing with shit, you know, dealing with what it's like to be Asian American, getting in touch with their roots, embracing their culture, finding identity, you know, and it is explored here. It is an aspect to it, and that's what separates this movie from like a Girls Trip or Bridesmaids, you know. But it does has that. But I guess this formula, you know, a bunch of girls getting together and having a crazy weekend, you know, people like that. That's a big trope, you know, and it's working.
Yeah.
You know, and. So I've definitely seen this movie before, you know. This movie's definitely a lot more Hollywood like than Past Lives. Past Lives was grounded. This was definitely not.
Mm-hmm.
It had the whole like friends, like they end up getting into blows by the climax of the movie, and then by the very end they reconcile and life is going great. They all figure their shit out. You know what I mean? But fair enough. It's okay. You know what I mean? It's okay to have movies like that in general. You know, the performances were pretty solid in terms of this acting. They all bounced off each other very well. The chemistry was there. They're all pretty funny. Stephanie Sue was funny, especially Sherry Cola, like who plays Lolo, the friend. Like she had a lot of funny moments. This movie is very sexual, and because they were trying to date, you know, and over there in that side of the world, they're really strict on, you know, sexual imagery, shit like that. You know, they, you know, a little bit repressive over there. You know, this was kind of like a punch to the face or kick to the face. So I do appreciate that a lot. And I'm not advert to super sexual. I mean, like, I've seen The Boys, and, you know what I mean? Like, once you get past season 3 of The Boys, I mean, this is nothing. You know, like, once you grow into, when a superhero, like, goes into a mini version and try to jump into your penis hole and explode you from the inside, I'm like, this is, like, child's play. Seeing a devil vagina, you know what I mean? Like, that's really nothing. Honestly, it is what it is. I thought it was hilarious, actually, because I realized how bad, because they talked about it. There's a whole scene where she talked about it.
It's a montage, really.
It's a montage of Sherry Cola, Lolo's character, talking about it on the way to Hong Kong. So to actually see it and it's real, like, whoa, it's not bigger than I thought it was. Like, okay, yeah. Jesus Christ, what drugs were you taking to get that fucking tattoo? And she was like, "Oh," she was like, I remember when we laughed. She was like, she tried to make it seem like she got a laser removed, but and then when he saw it, was like, I could get this shit laser removed. They tried to. It's like, it was like, yeah, dude, that was fucking hilarious. And this movie have a lot of. This movie actually has some generally funny scenes. This movie generally, like, at least with more of the serious parts are really Ashley Park's character, because she's the protagonist.
Yeah, she's the one person who has a real serious arc.
This movie definitely does a balance with serious, with that straight up raunchy, over the top, borderline slapstick comedy. You know what I mean? Like Hangover like comedy. Like they don't pull no punches. But the fact that they had that nuance can maybe kind of like this film. Like this movie is like, it's definitely an acquired taste, but like this movie, I mean, in terms of like, if you like bridesmaids, I mean, you're gonna love this movie, you know, for sure. It has everything. It has adventure, has shenanigans, it has heart, has culture, has camaraderie between homegirls, like, you know what I mean? Like, yo, you know what I mean? Like, this is like everything you want in a movie like this. They do it perfectly. And then like, and it really got emotional towards the end, where she found out the mother died, and she visited her gravesite, and she met with the mother's husband. He saw the video. All that was actually pretty emotional. Like, yo, so like to mix that with like, that's what Hollywood is. You want to mix those real grounded moments with like over the topness of the Hollywood grandeur. You know, you want to. So this, I think, is where we found a nice little pocket. So this movie is a lot like Bridesmaids and Girls Trip, but it does do things to differentiate itself a bit from those movies. You know what I mean? So it's Bridesmaids, but with a little extra zest, a little twist, a little finesse. You know what I mean? You're not getting exactly that, I'll say, which I liked. And yeah, so for comedy, the comedy hits, and it has a real funny sequence where all three of the main girls are like getting a freak on, and it's just fucking, and so like Audrey's with two basketball players. You know, she this movie's bold. They go bold with the sexual, with sex. They go all out. So like Stephanie, she basically has a threesome, but injures the fuck out of them, because she's like crushing both in between her legs. And then Stephanie Sue, she's like, she pretty much has a bunch of cocaine still up her asshole, and it exploded. So, you know, she's like over the top now. And then she ended up encountering an ex-boyfriend on the ball team, and they end up like not having sex, but they end up like, you know, humping a little bit, and she ends up fucking taking the hyper race, which is like the those like little massagers, the massaging guns, and shoots at his ball sack, and that leads to a funny scene. And Sherry Cola, you know, she actually has successful night of sex with Brandon Davis, and then Deadeye, she's like getting crump with the doing a K-pop thing with the other basketball team members, and fucks one of them up. Yeah, that whole sequence, it just came together in just like a massive like violent orgasm to watch. It's like it was done pretty well, and it's pretty fucking funny. I'm not gonna lie. And a bunch of and also the shock value, I realized that she's Korean this whole time, was pretty shocking too. Like that was a good twist. I was like, whoa, okay, all right. But it makes me feel kind of ignorant, because I'm like, damn, we should have figured that out. Maybe a last name, an original last name, or like, you know what I mean?
They
like
presented that information to us. They never gave us her original.
No, they didn't. But I mean, they would have. You know what I mean? Like they would probably know at some point. Like, you know what I mean? Like, just the way she looks. Like, you know, like she doesn't necessarily look Chinese. You know what I'm saying? You know, I kind of feel like, damn, we should have probably sniffed that out. But you know, it was done well, because you know it caught me off guard. So yeah, I mean, I like this movie. This movie definitely, you know what I mean? Like, it's just a like. It's like other movies I've seen, you know what I mean? And the comedy can be a little too over the top. So if you're not into the too over the top thing, may not be for you. This is like, the comedy style is like Hangover meets Bridesmaids, you know? Like, it's a lot of shenanigans, a lot of violence, a lot of bold sexual, you know, choices, bold sexual imagery. They go for it. But I respect the bonus. Go for it. Fuck it, you know? So for me, I mean, this movie, they give us a 91 on Rotten Tomatoes. I'll probably give this movie like a 81, 80. That's what I'm feeling.
I'll be giving it a flat 60. I mean, I'm being fair. This isn't my kind of movie. I really don't like it, but there's nothing in it that's like so bad I'd give it below a 60. So I think it's a perfectly fair to put in that range.
Well, yeah, I'm giving it 81. I think it's a good time if you're into comedies, or especially like, you know, raunchy, over the top. You know what I mean? A real like, you want to be laughing and, you know, going crazy in the theater. I recommend it. Sure, why not?
Yeah, if you like those kind of movies, I don't see a reason not to recommend this one. That being said, folks, thanks again for joining us here tonight. Make sure that like, subscribe button, and stay tuned for new episodes of all the reviews we're doing, all the reactions we're doing. Lots of videos coming right your way.
And tell us what you think about this movie down below. You like it? You hate it? You know, what do you think? think our score is accurate? Let us know.
Yeah, let us know what you think in the comments below.